Welcome to Joydala Fashion Guide. Today's video, we're going to be making a kaftan bubu without shoulder joining. The measurement you are working with is a neck width of 3.5. We'll be making use of 3.5 by 3.5. So the neck width for both the front and the back will be 3.5. The neck depth for the back will be 2 inches, while the neck depth for the front will be 3.5, and then it's going to have a slit so that the total length of the front neckline will be 7.5. So the slit will be 4 inches, then everything will be 7.5. Then the shoulder we are working with is 15 inches. On fold, that will be 7.5. The shoulder to the bust line is 11 inches. Shoulder to underbust is 14.5. The shoulder to waist is 19 inches. And then the bust circumference is 40 inches. The waist circumference is 37.5. And then the hip circumference is 48. For this kaftan, because it is a free bubu, we are going to be making use of the hip circumference for all of them. So that hip circumference will be adding ease allowance, and is a cut together sleeve. So the amount of fabric that you need for this kaftan is 3.5 yards of fabric. So when you have your 3.5 yards, I'm going to use this piece of fabric to show you how to fold the fabric. So you lay out your fabric the full 3.5 straight like this, and then you fold it into 2 like this. After that, you now fold it like this so that we can have the back separate and the front separate. So that is how I have folded this. And then we'll use the back neckline to cut the neckline first, after which we separate the back and then recut the front neckline. So because it's not going to have any joining at the shoulder, you just go ahead and mark the neck width. The neck width I'm using is 3.5. So that is what I have marked here, 3.5. And then the neck depth for the back is 2 inches. I decided to make it 2 inches because so that the head can fit in properly. So you can make use of how you want it. You can make use of 1.5 or 1 inch. So after you have measured it like that, then you cut out the neckline. So when you cut it out, that means you have cut the front and the back. So you now separate the back so that you can cut the front completely. So you separate the back like this, and then you complete the front neckline. So we'll make the front 3.5. And then it's going to have a slit. The slit is 4 inches. So you remark the 3.5. You put your French curve, you draw out the neckline. So you measure where the 4 inches slit will stop, and then you use your scissors to cut it open, and then you have something like this. So that's just all for the neckline. We will not be having any shoulder slant because there is no joining at the shoulder. But if you want yours to have a shoulder slant, then you go ahead and mark the shoulder measurement like this without seam allowance. You mark shoulder measurement without seam like this, and then you now mark your 1 inch slant, 1 inch or 1.5. To slant the sleeve. So when you now slant the sleeve, you slant it completely to the side. You mark your 1 inch and then you slant like this. Okay, but you are not having shoulder joint, so you are not making use of this. Another way you can make your slant is to just come here and mark 1.5, and then use your roller to connect it to the neckline, like this. Okay, you connect it. Then before you now go ahead and mark the armhole length. So the bust circumference for this customer is 40 divided by 4, that is 10. Because it is a free bubu, we will not be using 10. So I've marked 11.5. I've added 1 inch extra so that after sewing it will be 11. We need it to be free. Okay, so you go ahead and mark where you want your armhole opening to stop. You mark it, then you come in by 2 inches depending on how you want it. You can come in by 2 or 3 inches and then you mark it like this. So the hip circumference of this customer is 48 divided by 2 divided by 4, that will be 12 inches. So how do we know our hip point? From the shoulder, you mark shoulder to the bust point. This shoulder to bust 11, then shoulder to the under bust is 14.5, shoulder to waistline is 19 inches, and then from there you can mark 8 inches for the hip line. So this is where the hip line will be. This is where the waistline will be. So you will need the waistline to notch it so that if you want to fix pocket, that is where you are going to fix your pocket. Your pocket will be between the waist and then the hip. So the hip circumference, so you are working with 12. This is 12 inches, and because it's a kaftan is a free wear, you go ahead and add ease allowance. So you can add 4 or 5 inches depending on how free you want it to be. So I have 12 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 inch for seam, so making a total of 6. So I have 18. So you go ahead and remark the 18 here, and then you remark the 18 at the end, and then you connect with the straight line, and then we cut it off. Right, just off for the cutting. And whatever you cut off, you can, this is what I cut off, you can use it to create your pockets. You can join it to create the pockets. You join it, you have something like this, and then you can now fold it. So I'm going to be using this for my pockets. So the width is 8.5. So I'll trim ½ inch away. 7.5 is okay. And then for the length, I have 11.5, which is just okay. So that the pocket will be a bit deep. So like I said, you notch the waistline where the pocket will be. So the pocket is going to be around this line, this place. So the pocket will be around here, and of course you need 2 pieces of this. So I have another piece here for the pocket. So you just simply join it, open it like this, okay, and sew with a 1 inch seam allowance or ½ inch, then trim the other half away. So having settled that, the facing that is on top, you place the fabric open like this to show the full neckline. To show the complete neckline. And then you determine where the front is going to stop. The front will stop around the waist, which is 19 inches. So from the shoulder point here, you can notch this piece. From here, we are going to have about 21 inches. And then from the center towards the back, we'll have about 4 inches. So you cut out a piece, you place it underneath it like this. Align the neckline. You align the neckline like this. So this one, the front is going to be, okay, so the front is going to stop around the navel area. So I've made this 24 so that when I finish, it will be around 23. And then for the back is, let's say 4.5. So when we finish, the back can stop around here. So once you have measured out what you want, then you trim out the neckline. Okay, then you measure the slit, then you also cut out the slit. So I've cut out the slit up to 3.5. So when I'm sewing, I can extend it further. So after cutting, you're going to have something like this. So it's going to cover the shoulder line. That is how to know the width. It will cover the shoulder. Okay, so it's going to be like this. So that is for the front. So when we want to sew, it's a very simple kaftan. When we want to sew, you turn to the wrong side because the design is going to be in front. So you turn it to the wrong side like this. You turn to the wrong side, then you place this over it. You place it right side facing the wrong side, so that after sewing, the wrong side will now be facing the right side of the fabric. So this is the right side facing the wrong side of the fabric. So you place it on it like this. You use your pins to secure it in place, and then you sew the neckline. Sew the neck with 1/2 inch. You sew like this. Then use the chalk to outline it. So you sew like this. Like this. To the V. After that, you notch the curve area. You notch it so that we'll be able to flip it inside. So by the time you flip it in, this is the right side. It will be on it like this. It will be on it like this. So if you like, before you do this, you can iron a soft interface on the satin you are going to use. You can iron stay on it to stabilize the fabric. Okay, or you can also use it like that. So after you have put it like this, then you can take it to your iron, use your iron to fold it in, to fold the edges in so that it will be straight. You fold the edges in like this. You also fold this side, round it, you fold it in, you fold it in. You also fold this down part in. You use your iron, you iron it in place, use your pin to secure it, and then you sew on it. You sew on it round, so that completes the neckline. And then for the sleeve, you are going to be using the satin for the sleeve. So you just measure what you have here to cut out what you are going to use as band for the sleeve. So you measure what you have here. I have 23.5. You can add ½ inch so that it won't be short. Then you determine how wide you want the band to be. So I want my band to be 2 inches wide. So to achieve that, I've cut out 5 inches. So that by the time we fold it, if you fold it into 2, it's going to be, if you fold it into 2, it will be 2.5. So we need ½ inch to join it to this, so that when we finish, it will be 2 inches. So you can use your iron to iron it. So you need 2. You need to cut out 2, 1 for each sleeve. Then you go ahead and use your iron to fold in ½ inch. You fold in ½ inch on each side. Then you place it on it like this. So you sew on it. Then when you are through, you bring this other side and you fold it over like this, and now sew on top. So that is how you are going to sew both sleeve. It's a very simple kaftan. So once you are done with that, you have finished the neckline, you have finished the sleeve, then you fold the fabric over into 2 so that we can join the sides. Fold it into 2 like this. So you make sure that the armhole matches. You place it together. Like this. So you start here with ½ inch and then into it with 1 inch. You sew until you get to the end. If you want yours to have opening at the side, then from this down part, you measure where your sleeve opening will stop. Okay, so you determine your sleeve, your slit opening, if it's going to be 20 inches or 19 or 18. So you mark it. So when you are stitching from here, you stop at the slit opening. You do same for the other side. So after that, you're going to take the edge of the slit opening, you fold it in twice like this, and then you sew to this point. Remember it will be like this, so you cross to this side and then you also fold and continue this way. That's how you're going to sew the slit. So when you are through with the slit, you go ahead and fold it down. You fold it down twice first, and then you can fold with 1 inch depending on your measurement. You can fold with 1 or 1.5 or 2 inches. So you fold with 1/2 inch first and then fold into 1.5. Sew this as well. So that's just all for the kaftan. And then for the pockets that you have already notched, after you have joined this side, remember we are going to fix the pockets like this. So this right side should match here. So it should match here like this. And then this side should also match here. The right side to the right side. Place it on it like this. So you stitch here down. You stitch here down. Then when you finish, it's going to be on it like this. It's going to be on it like this. Then you now go ahead and resew from the side seam. You sew like this into the pocket, back stitch. Then you come here, you start again into, you sew from here into the side, and then the initial stitch that was here, you're going to lose it out. So that is just how to sew a kaftan. So I'll show you the final look on the mannequin. So here is the final look of our Ankara kaftan. This is Joydala Fashion Guide. Please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, share my videos. This is Joydala Fashion Guide.